this case takes a very unexpected turn. Before we get into today's video, I just want to let you guys know that this video is for educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere, in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I hope everybody is feeling good. Y'all, when I saw this case, I could not believe what my eyes were seeing. I mean, wait until y'all hear this one. Before we get into it, though, I did need to let you guys know, if you don't already know, hi, my name is Christina. I do have a second channel, which is Casually Christina. We just do things more casually over there. I also have a Patreon. My Patreon's for 18 and up. And over there, we talk about more personal stuff. We go live over there. There's a $2 tier for all the true crime stuff that cannot go onto YouTube due to their terms and policies. That goes over on my Patreon under the $2 tier. Just make sure you read the full about section and what each tier offers before you join. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Like to Know It. And Like to Know It is a platform where you can find links to a lot of things you guys ask about that I use, that I love. Everything from workout gear, clothing items, skincare, makeup, hair care, all kind of stuff like that that y'all ask about or that I want to link over there. I do. And all of those platforms are linked down in the description box if you would like to come and check me out. So I think it is safe to say that we have probably never seen a case like the one we're going to be talking about here today. Real quick, I need to remind y'all, I'm not a professional. I don't know any of these people in this video. Everything in here is alleged. I'm pulling all of my information from very public sources and very public news sources that's already out there, filtering it through my own words and opinions. So go do your own research and form your own opinions. Just don't show hate to anybody anywhere. Okay, let's talk about Dayton. 27-year-old Dayton James Webber is an American professional cornhole player. Do y'all play cornhole? I mean, so fun. And this guy has been an American professional cornhole player as well as a motivational speaker. He was born to his parents, Mike and Natalie Webber, in Charlotte Hall, Maryland. And at just 10 months old, Dayton was only given a 3% chance to live after he developed a really serious bacterial infection that actually led to him getting sepsis. Now, due to that, both of his arms and legs had to be amputated. He was able to keep parts of his arms, like down to his elbows. Now, despite this, Dayton adapted really well to like daily life using his partial limbs, and he learned how to do complex physical tasks like he would drive. He learned how to fish with what he had. He learned how to operate different tools. I mean, truly inspiring. Growing up, Dayton even played football and he participated in wrestling and motocross. I mean, talk about a determined young man. If he could do all of this with the body that he had at that point, imagine what he could have done with the full arms and the full legs. Nevertheless, in 2010, when Dayton was 12 years old, ESPN wrote an article about him, and in it, it says that Dayton was just like basically a typical 12-year-old who got really good grades. He was really popular at school with his classmates, and he was a good son. His father, in the article, talked about how he and his wife basically thought that they were going to have to get a wheelchair ramp for Dayton after his amputation. So, of course, again, he had his legs amputated and then down to here in his arms. So they're thinking, okay, how are we going to plan for our son to get in the house and live a normal life? So they're going to build a wheelchair ramp. However, they said that Dayton simply just learned how to walk with what he had. They didn't even have to do any of that. At around 8 years old, Dayton started playing cornhole. Now, as an adult, he played professional cornhole. And Dayton was actually the first quadruple amputee to compete in the American Cornhole League. In 2020, he was the Maryland State Cornhole Champion, which was a really big deal. Then in the 2022 to 2023 season, Dayton played for the Carolina Coasters and he had a 0-4 record. I mean, he was good. In 2023, Dayton wrote an essay for the Today Show, and in it, he talked about how much he loved playing cornhole and how surprising people had always been a part of his life. In the meantime, Dayton made appearances in several major media interviews, like ESPN even did a profile on him back in 2023.
I actually came up with my own kind of quote that got me through everything, and that's "the world won't wait."
Dayton Webber hits it.
It essentially means this world, as we speak, is spinning. It's not gonna stop.
Wow!
It doesn't matter what happened to you. You always gotta keep moving forward because we all got goals to reach and we all have limited time on this earth to be able to accomplish those things. The world won't wait.
They suggested that he be baptized and given his last rites. That just didn't enter my thought that I was gonna lose him.
We're here at my house. This is where I practice my cornhole. Cornhole has been a passion of mine since I was 8 years old, you know, throwing in the backyard with my parents, friends, and stuff. At first, it took me a little while to get it there to the board consistently. I was able to compensate the grip on the bag by just grabbing the corner of it. With me propelling myself forward and the whip of the bag, that's how I get it there.
He was last active in the league in late 2024. Now, Dayton also has a pretty decent online presence. On his social media, he shows how he's been able to perform everyday activities. He's been considered a real inspirational figure, at least until now. So you think all of that, right? All of that he did, all of that he accomplished and overcame. And that brings us to here recently. So, on March 22nd of this year, 2026, Dayton was allegedly involved in a fatal of a 27-year-old man named Bradrick Michael Wells in Charles County, Maryland. Now, your mind is already going, okay, wait a minute. Dayton is involved for another man. How did this happen? What happened? Bradrick was a motocross rider and a car enthusiast who had just recently began training as an HVAC engineer. He had also just become a father for the first time. Now, according to investigators, Dayton was driving an SUV, because remember, he was driving. He learned how to drive with everything going on. He was driving an SUV with Bradrick in the front passenger seat. So Dayton's driving, Bradrick's in the front passenger seat. Then they've got two people sitting in the back. He had just picked up the two back passengers from work. Now, allegedly, the two of them had an argument that ended in Dayton firing at Bradrick multiple times in the head. The two passengers in the back seat have told the Daily Mail that Dayton and Bradrick were allegedly arguing over high school BS from way over 10 years ago. One of the passengers said that Dayton accused Bradrick of stealing something from his home. Bradrick's mother has reportedly told the Daily Mail that she was told that the argument was over a stolen, but she denied that her son would steal this because she said that he had his own. She also said that her son wasn't a saint, but that he would help anyone who needed it, including Dayton. Now, the passengers, the two in the back, said that everything seemed totally normal that day leading up to the incident. They said that Dayton and Bradrick had spent the day at a local motocross park before showing up to the restaurant that the two passengers worked at. They said that Dayton and Bradrick still seemed all buddy-buddy at that point, but then they said that the mood suddenly shifted. The passengers said when they got into the car after getting off of work, they saw open alcohol bottles and white powder basically everywhere in the car. They said that it was quiet, and at that point, things felt tense. So here you go. You got the two buddies that come and get in the back. They got their friends in the front, Dayton driving, Bradrick in the passenger seat, empty alcohol bottles and white powder everywhere, and things feel weird, and they're like, ooh, what did we just step into, or what's going on here? They said that as they started to drive, Dayton and Bradrick started having that heated argument before all of a sudden, two loud bangs went off. Dayton then reportedly asked the passengers to help him get Bradrick's body out. Can you imagine? But they refused. They said, we're not help. Can you imagine? Like, he's like, hey, help me take care of the body. And they're like, I don't think so. They actually immediately jumped out of the car and flagged down the police and told them exactly what happened. And they did the right thing. Can you imagine? They're getting picked up from work. And then he wants help. Hello. Meanwhile, Dayton allegedly drove off with Bradrick's body still in the car, and his remains were later found about 10 miles away in a yard in Charlotte Hall, Maryland, about 2 hours after the incident. Now, Dayton was found in Charlottesville, Virginia, where he had gone to the hospital to get medical treatment. He was arrested as a fugitive from justice, and he was held in Virginia before eventually being extradited back to Maryland. Now, Dayton was officially charged with first-degree and second-degree and a bunch of other charges they gave him as well. Now, if Dayton is convicted, he could face life in prison. Now, since his arrest, I've seen some pretty interesting reports about Dayton's personal life. One report says that an ex-girlfriend claims that Dayton was very controlling and towards her during their relationship. I've also seen people point out the fact that Dayton has quite a few videos of him discharging these weapons on social media. So a lot of people are wondering how this inspirational figure can just all of a sudden go from having like some fame and success to suddenly ending someone's life like this. In my opinion, well, the first thing I would think of is if the two passengers in the back seat were telling the truth about there being white powder all in the car. Substances make people do all kinds of different things. And if he was into money and all of this stuff, it might have been a combination of feeling invincible. And it's just so disheartening. First of all, obviously Bradrick, I know that his mother said that he was no angel, and he lost his life. He was a young father, and now he has a small child out there somewhere that is going to grow up and not know her father, which is very, very unfortunate. Because people make mistakes in life, and we all hope that we're going to have a chance to grow through them and get better. But sometimes, unfortunately, you don't. And sometimes when you're involved in that lifestyle with substances and all that stuff, unfortunately, sometimes it ends like this. And this is really, really sad, where people lose their lives. But when it comes to Dayton, and you think about all he overcame in life, and this is where he ends up. Like, I don't even know the word to say it. I mean, to say that's unfortunate, disheartening, it just doesn't seem like an adequate enough word. He overcame so much, and then to go out like this, possibly high, and taking his friend's life. I'm going to be following this to see what all comes out. Have y'all heard about this? Have y'all ever heard of Dayton? Did you know that there was a such thing as like a professional cornhole tournament? Let me know in the comment section down below. Other than that, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.